I love to ask this question, and I've never asked it to an AI chatbot before. I'll be very curious to see what it says. If we get rid of the Electoral College within the United States, what role does or do the individual states have in the direction of the country they founded? What role or say do they have? They lost their control or ability to appoint senators. What power do they have left over the direction of the federal government they founded? Perhaps the most controversial feature of U.S. presidential elections is the Electoral College of the United States. Instead of directly electing the president via popular vote, citizens vote for a slate of electors specific to a party pledged to a candidate. Each state gets electors equal to its total number of House members plus 2 senators in almost all states. The candidate who wins the state's popular vote receives all or most of that state's electoral votes. Generally, winner takes all, has been after 2016. A candidate needs a majority, at least 270 out of 538 of the electoral votes to win the presidency. Arguments for, and I'll expand on these a little bit, arguments for the Electoral College include protects the less populated states. It recognizes the role of states within our system, promotes national unity by requiring broad geographic support across the country. I'm going to add to the noted list I'm starting with here, expound upon the ways in which the Electoral College preserves a fundamental role for the states to have a specific say. I like that we have faithless electors within that specific system. It's a break glass in case of emergency protocol that we have not had to use, but I'm glad it's there. Arguments against would include the fact that we've had 2 popular vote winners lose the presidency based on the Electoral College vote in recent elections, which leads to a little bit of loss of faith of the electoral process. The emphasis on swing states, right, in most recent election campaigns, which can depress turnout in non-competitive states. Faithless electors, you could criticize them. I'm for the faithless electors. The Electoral College system fundamentally shapes presidential campaigns and raises questions about whether it aligns with democratic principles of majority rule, or how does it fit within our existing system. It seems like a lot of folks have sort of lost the reason for why we have some undemocratic elements within the government. Beyond the Electoral College, other aspects of the system face criticism, like gerrymandering, the manipulation of redistricting among the states, drawing legislative district lines to favor one party to create safe seats, reduce accountability, and distort the relationship between the statewide vote share and representation in the House, drawing basically lines to favor party for the next election cycle to just give yourself a comfortable margin in every election cycle that you can, and to concentrate the votes of your opponents where you can, so they can rack up votes in their districts, but you get to maximize your votes in the other districts. Campaign finance has been an interesting issue, dating back all the way to 2001, the McCain-Feingold Act. Vast sums of money are required to run campaigns, even in little House seats across the country, particularly after Citizens United 2011 allowed for greater independent spending on political campaigns, raises concerns about the influence of wealthy donors and special interests within our system. There's also voter access concerns, debates over voter ID laws, felon disenfranchisement, and polling place accessibility, mailing your votes in during COVID, things like that, raise questions about whether all eligible citizens have an equal opportunity to participate. But again, there is the concern for integrity, and what does it mean in terms of having a paper trail like so many European countries do. They're still in the paper system. So how do we modernize and make accessible while still actually making sure that voters really trust the system? Trust is fundamental and just cannot be assumed. It must be constantly earned.